Goodness gracious, what is up, peeps? Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about, well, franchise league fines and esports. Actually, about an esport also involved that does not have a franchise league. Most recently, we covered the drama from the Sentinels and the Halo HCS scene, which involved a few members being punished. If you guys remember back to Royal 2, he was temporarily suspended for geofiltering and called out by a lot of teams, and in particular, some players out there in the Halo scene, and given that temporary suspension. It was not well received by a lot of people out there, including Sentinels members Royal 1 and Lethal, who later took to Twitter to say some disparaging things against the HCS and their staff and administrations. Unfortunately for them, they then found out that you can't do that, and they were sentenced some fines, which we're going to estimate in between $1,000 and $3,000 for those said tweets. I don't know if that compounds for each tweet they actually did that was, considered disparaging against the league, but it brought up a great issue because after I tweeted about this, it was actually Snakebite responding and on his own time going on his Twitter to discuss the fines of Halo pros and Call of Duty pros because he was blown away by the amounts that apparently his teammates had to pay for some tweets against the staff of HCS, which sparked an amazing debate, and that's what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about tweets and things that players cannot say and costing them lots of freaking money, like amounts of money that I literally can't imagine. These are fines that can buy you high-end computers, if that's the best way to frame this. And just saying that is insane. Of course, when you vie into a franchise league, you know how you should be upholding yourself on social media. It's a bit of a different story, though, for the Halo and Call of Duty scene. As Halo, these guys said it against staff and admins for HCS or Halo, who puts on the esports events, whereas Call of Duty players, they can be fined for things as simple as questioning the game state and of course, ridiculing on the game and being honest about the current year's Call of Duty title, right? And Snakebite responding to me, my tweet was simply about Lethal and Royal 1 facing those fines for the tweets they had. We only know what Royal 1's tweet was. We don't know what Lethal exactly said to face that fine, but Snakebite says, just so there isn't confusion, they were fined for tweets, not for what Royal 2 was suspended for. Definitely see the reason of punishment, just wild to compare the amounts in my opinion. So apparently he knew about some numbers and he was kind of mind blown about how much his teammates were having to pay. So he actually went on his own to make some notes on his own Twitter. First and foremost, he says, side note, away from the drama, I'm so sorry for everyone playing Infinite who is trying to enjoy crossplay with friends or even just have more than lobbies of 2. 5 games in the open playlist today, all with cheaters with walls and aimbot. Truly incredible stuff. And to that, my first response was to Octane later on of, I don't think Call of Duty players can get away with saying that kind of thing. We do not know the line on social media between, okay, a franchise league in Call of Duty and what they can get away with versus Halo players in HCS, not a franchise league, but HCS, obviously, the main person you look to for Halo esports. We don't know what exactly players can say about games, so I thought it was pretty ballsy. After your teammates on Sentinels get fined for what they said about HCS staff, we then have Snakebite coming out and just kind of down-talking the game, which I don't blame him, and I don't think is going to be against any rules that they follow. I would love to know between Snakebite and Octane or any pros in Halo and Call of Duty where that line is separated. What can Call of Duty players say that Halo players can't? Or what can Halo players say, more importantly, that Call of Duty players can't? I'd be very curious because Snakebite also went on his own to ask and say, hey, if any Call of Duty pros want to speak up on how much their fines are, how much is it? Which he didn't expect the response, and I'm grateful for someone like Octane who did respond, and I've talked about this previously. He's had a variety of instances where he has been fined. I believe at one point in time, the rumor was that he had actually been fined more than his team had made in prize earnings a couple years back, or the year prior with the Surge, which was like $10,000. It was his giant story, where he says it's a variety of either $500 minimum up to $3,000 for these offenses. Now, I know that Octane has gone on videos and spoken at length about maybe some issues with his team or the league or the game, but I am wondering, was that for individual tweets? Because if so, like I said before, can you imagine tweeting out something stupid in the heat of the moment, all of a sudden the league slaps you back and says, hey, we want $3,000. Now, I want to compare to what Snakebite said because he was kind of mind blown by the amounts that his teammates were having to pay. If you look back in the actual announcement brought to us by HCS and the disparagement agreements, you're looking at minimum fines of $1,000 and a maximum penalty of $3,000, which does beg the question, Royal One, if he had one tweet, which was pretty bad, is he paying $3,000? It also makes you question Lethal. He had multiple tweets from 2 separate days, so was he fined multiple times? I'm not sure how it stacks and compounds, but I would, based off, Snakebite's reaction, I wouldn't say it was too far-fetched that it did based on each individual offense or each individual tweet, which then has you thinking, all right, maybe I see where they're coming from because we are not in a $300 million franchise league like Call of Duty, and all of a sudden your players are being fined multiple times. But again, it's also a fine line because what these Sentinels guys did was really dumb. Like, you can't go and trash talk the staff and the people. Leave it to the game or to other players, but to go out and do that. And again, they weren't the only ones. A lot of Call of Duty players were very upset with this ruling and spoke their minds on social media, but you are players for Sentinels and you targeted Halo admins, HCS admins and staff, which is pretty crazy. But the main focus of this video being that we finally have a pro in Octane speaking up and saying, hey, here's how much the pros are paying, which is likely comparable to an Overwatch League. We have seen fines of the thousands of dollars, same for League of Legends, these minor offenses all around that same fee. But it leaves me wondering 2 questions for all of you, and maybe we can get some insight from the fans. Who out there has paid the most ever in esports fines? Because Octane certainly has to be up there. And also, what is the single largest individual fine ever given to someone for one single offense? Any pros want to speak up? Hit my DMs. Till next time, you guys take care. What do y'all think about that? Halo fines, Call of Duty fines. Several esports pro players across their legacies have been fined thousands of dollars as these leagues like to collect in on it. So what do y'all think? Till next time, okay. Bye.